Hello everybody and welcome to a spotlight on Explosive Jake, which is kind of like a puzzle game, Bomberman type of game. It's kind of strange. First and foremost, I'll show you something that I absolutely despise, and that is this game comes with a CTR effect filter because it's based on old games and it needs a CTR. Please, developers, stop doing this. I know it's like for your press material, like screenshots and stuff on the Steam page, it looks neat to have the like CTR overlay effects on it, but please stop doing it. It's bad. It's just bad. So let's start the game, and I'll just start at stage 0 to show you what this game is all about. So you can definitely tell already that this is not just your normal Bomberman game. I mean, you place down a bomb and it explodes. You need to look for both the door to the next level and the key to open that door. So far as I know right now, they do not seem to be randomized. There's also obviously these enemies which give points for when you kill them. When you run into them, you instantly die, and you also have... I don't yet know what those two items above the bombs are. I've tried pressing every single button on screen and that... Okay, so Y resets. And then that's the... For some reason the B button is the pause menu rather than the start button, which is real weird to me. But none of these buttons seem to do anything. So I don't really know what that second item is. It maybe will be explained later on into the game. I'm hoping, because this is real random, that there's an icon there that doesn't seem to be doing anything. So this is going to test my hypothesis as to things not being random. They are random every single time you play, it seems, because last time I played, the door was right there. And this time, the key is in the same place there, so I might just be misremembering. Yeah, I'm probably just misremembering in that case. The door might be, yeah. So it doesn't seem to be randomized, which is a bit of a shame. If the location of the doors and the keys were randomized, this would be a lot more replayable and a lot more fun as a result of that. It does not seem that that is the case, sadly. So you need to press those buttons, obviously, to open doors, which then give you access to new areas. That's kind of how doors work. There's nothing game-changing here. It's nothing like new. It's just combining the idea of a Bomberman type game with a puzzle game, because that's what this is. And is it a good puzzle game? Not necessarily. Is it a good Bomberman game? I'd say no. No, it's actually, as far as like Bomberman type games go, it's not very good. It's a little bit lacking. So does that mean that this game, like in general, just as a game, isn't that good? I wouldn't say that necessarily. I think the combination of the two things is an interesting idea that can go places. I just think that this game doesn't quite 100% deliver on what it could potentially be. And right now it's just like a fun little like casual arcade type game which you can play when you're like bored for like 20 minutes, but then the game doesn't seem to offer much more than that and gets... As far as I've played, which is like the first 3 levels, as far as I can see, the game does have the potentiality to get stale very, very quickly. And I don't think that is something that you want in your video games. I just complained about how this is not randomized, and I totally forgot where the door for the second level is. So... which is level 1 because it starts with stage 0, which is just like... I know that's how it works in programming, like erase start at 0, ha ha ha, programmer memes. But why? Why do your level start at 0? That's confusing. And it's not even that this game has like a programmer or like computer science kind of theme. This specific level has robots in it, so that's not very like... conducive to my point here, I'm aware. But still, I just took care of 2 robots there at once. I don't know what this does. I didn't find this last time. Oh, it's an extra life. I don't know. It probably means I can get hit like once and not die, I'm assuming. I already found the door, I just need to find the key. I did not finish this level, by the way, I should mention. I played it, played a little bit of it. I did not finish this level, and I think that this is going to be a fairly short video because most of the things I have to say about this game I've already said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this level, and after this level is finished, I'll give a quick look to the next level. If any like new mechanics or new like twists on the gameplay loop are introduced, I'll have given the game its fair share of playtime, and it kind of dies or stands with that idea. I kind of feel like, okay, so that is the key. I kind of feel like that this is just the entire game with progressively like more difficult and more expansive levels, which is fine, especially with like if you apply the CRT filter to it, it feels like an arcade type game, and that's definitely what this is. And okay, so we're already recycling themes. Oh, but there are new. Oh my god, I'm dead. Okay, there are already recycling themes, which is a little bit too bad, but there are now fireballs, which is definitely a new type of obstacle. Is it difficult to deal with? It makes you think a little bit more about where you're moving, so a little bit more of that like Bomberman spirit. Okay, that actually does make it like decently more difficult. Those little things do really... Okay, I made the same mistake again. This time you didn't go down, huh? Okay. But yeah, the Bomberman spirit of like placing a bomb and trying to get the fuck away from your own bomb. That is pretty much like, in a nutshell, what Bomberman is. Does get preserved a little bit more with more things on screen that are moving. And it does really seem that this level starts to ramp that up a little bit, to the point where I've died a couple of times so far already. So maybe there is more to this game after all. I'm also just like very bad at life, as you can clearly see. Sometimes bombs don't place properly, by the way. You need to be properly like... I'm not even going to comment on that. You need to be properly inside a square to be able to place a bomb if you're on the edge. That time I did it. Okay, so it's just inconsistent as to when you can place bombs. I'm going to say that might be an issue with my controller rather than the game. I give it the benefit of the doubt, because I do have a fairly like old and used up controller. So I'll take the ball on that one and assume that that is my issue, not the game's issue. It might be the game's issue, and it might just be getting away with it because I have a bad controller, and I died there. So I think you get the point of the game. It's a short video, I'm aware, but this is everything the game has to offer, really, and I don't want to show you guys how bad I actually am at it. So it's a little bit of a short video. It's a very short video, as a matter of fact, but I still think if you like what you're seeing here, it's not bad in execution. I just think design-wise, it's very, very, very bare bones, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Also, let's have some music here. Which doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, but in my opinion, it's a little too little to be a proper game. But hey, if you like simplistic, like just a little bit of fun, just pop this up and play it for like 15 minutes between work or something like that. It would work really, really well as a mobile game, I feel. On the Switch, if you had this on the Switch, this would work fairly well, because you could just whip your Switch out in traffic. Not in traffic if you're driving. I mean, if you're like in a train or in a bus or something, you could whip out your Switch, play 1 or 2 levels, and get out at your proper stop. So, but for a sit-down kind of experience at your computer, I wouldn't recommend this. But hey, maybe you have a laptop. If you have a laptop, you can use this. It doesn't really require a lot of hardware to run, obviously. So I'd recommend it if you're looking for something like that. Other than that, wouldn't recommend playing this game, really. Until next time, I've been Vlogger, you've been awesome, this has been Spotlight. Bye.